Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another round of Master Phil in your corner with your host, Master Phil.
All right, everybody. Master Phil here with Master Phil in your corner with my faithful and trusty sidekick, Dougie Fresh Friedman, out of the lovely studios here at Undefeated Media Studios.
Thank you.
And that is a lovely studio,
Oh, thank
right?
you,
Right? We've
thank
done
you.
some good improvements, some nice paint,
Yeah.
got the lights, got the whole thing going on here. It's awesome. And Wyckoff, New Jersey.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we're gonna put Wyckoff on the map.
Absolutely.
Us and the
Absolutely.
Jonas Brothers. I said maybe they put it on a little bit more on the map than we are here, but
You got a little head start.
yeah,
Little head start.
it's a tad, just a little, and a lot more talent.
Whoa.
So, what we're working on today, guys, is we're on our series right now with the 5 pillars of strength. Okay,
Mhm.
we've already addressed our emotional strength. We've addressed the mental strength. We had the physical strength
Mhm.
last week, and I'm going to apologize to everybody because I forgot to remind our guest of no cursing.
Okay.
And after the cat's out of the bag, kind of just rock and roll, and is what it is, and I loved it anyway. So, so if the kids are around for the physical strength, I don't know, maybe you want to earmuff them, but we're in full control of today, which will be financial strength. Okay,
Yeah.
and then next week will be our spiritual strength.
Nice.
So we're going to have all 5 pillars addressed. And one of the things that I want to talk about that's with all of these, with any of these, it's universal. Is what? Strength is a choice. So is weakness.
Mhm.
You can choose to be strong or weak. Okay, it's up to you to take the steps to becoming strong. And what we're doing here is offering some guidance here on how to become strong.
Awesome.
Yeah. And today we're going to really talk about this, financial strength. Now, you say, well, gosh, why is that so important?
Mhm.
You can have physical strength. You can feel strong emotionally. You can be enlightened physically. You can, enlighten spiritually and so forth. But you know what? If you don't have money, you know, you have to have an ability to live, buy stuff, eat, clothe yourself, have a roof over your head, those crazy kind of things. And I see that this puts an incredible amount of stress on people. They may how many marriages break up because of money? How many businesses fail because of money? Great ideas, great businesses, right? Fail
Mhm.
because their bottom line was terrible. How many people have strapped themselves with student debt, loans, credit card bills? Why? Because they don't have the financial strength.
And it's something that's not taught in schools.
It's not taught in schools. But actually, I'll tell you what, I teach it in my classes.
Nice.
I teach at my classes to my students. I discuss this with them because we discuss ROI. So I teach sport, how to run sports businesses,
Mhm.
and I talk to them about the bottom line. I talk to them about budgeting, and I speak to them on personal budgeting and so forth because it enables you to do so much more. You have so much more freedom, and it's part of strength.
Yeah.
Talking about strength and financial, we have to thank our sponsors.
Absolutely.
So, first one we're going to thank will be, of course, philross.com. We have the kettlebell workout library. You just go to philross.com, go to the products, and check everything out there. We have some great stuff. Great stuff, for training. We have in-person seminars. We have one-on-one training, not too much available. A lot of virtual training, though. There's a lot of information on there. Well more than 500 videos available. Plus we have the secrets of the kettlebell training. Heck, there's over 100 different movements addressed in the 8 basic kettlebell movements: the swing, deadlift, clean, snatch, press, get up, squat, and row. And they're all taught in the hard style training. One time fee, only $69. And you have a cornucopia of movements here in order to choose from for your training.
Nice.
Yeah. And also, hey, you know what? You have to have your health, right?
Mhm.
So you want to make sure that you're at the proper weight and you're getting the proper nutrition. Best thing to do, join Fit Team. We have healthy, organic, energy boosting, and weight control supplements. We even have apparel there. So you can find them on our products section in Fit Team. So you want to definitely check that out. And talking about health and wealth, you know what? Health is a wealth,
Mhm.
because if you have your health, you have everything. Definitely go check out Health is a Wealth. You have to actually type in the URL. It'll be next 24 hours should be crawling across YouTube, crawling on Google very shortly. But it's up there right now. If you need the link, it'll be posted in our on our website for the Master Phil in Your Corner. Do we put up on philross.com yet?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I
We,
think
we should do
we'll
that.
put that up. We'll put that up there
Yeah.
too, so people just click and go. And so getting back to the pillars of strength here, and let's talk about this. I'm going to give an example of a guy I know. Okay,
Mhm.
guy's like super smart, like way brighter than me.
Mhm.
Okay, in some aspects, in others, I'm thinking, maybe I got a leg up on him here. But we were speaking a couple years ago, and guy makes $2 million. You heard what I said, right? A year.
$2 million.
$2 million a year.
Mhm.
How is it that I have more disposable income than a guy who makes $2 million a year? I don't make $2 million a year. I hope to. I hope to make half of that. I don't know. Maybe I'd be satisfied with, I don't know, a quarter of it, whatever. Okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good money, right?
Yeah.
$2 million a year. Okay. Where is it? It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep, right?
Mhm.
So you live in the city. Guess where 1 million goes?
You want he lives in the city?
Yeah.
Oh, that's where 1 million goes.
Taxums. There it goes. Boom. Million right off the top.
Mhm.
Okay. He has kids.
Mhm.
They go to private school.
Oh, that's like 50K a year.
Oh yeah. What year is that? It's 80 grand a year.
Wow.
Okay. So you're talking, there's $160. Most people don't even make $160,000 a year. Right.
Mhm.
And he's spending that on education for his 2 kids. Right.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. And of course he has an awesome apartment up there, right?
Mhm.
Paying almost $500,000 a year to live there. Yeah. And that is not something that is uncommon.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a nice car too. Parks that. Yeah.
Parking alone is probably like $12,000 a year.
Yeah, more. Okay. And then think about the expenses to live in the city. Everything costs money. Oh yeah, he's got a wife too.
Mhm.
So think about that. You run those numbers, right? How much money does he actually have left for investments, for savings, things like that, right?
Mhm.
There's again, it's not how much you make, it's how much you save. And this is something I stress to my kids. There's a book. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. Gosh,
Mhm.
I wish this guy.
Yeah, I read that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool book, right? It's kind of
Yeah.
weird though because it has that.
It's like a story. It's not like
yeah.
a encyclopedia. It's more of a
Right.
story, but you're learning lessons every chapter. And stuff.
Right. But it's in that. It's kind of old language. It's an old book.
Yeah.
It's an old book. But basically, if you boil it down, let's think about some of the axioms that they discuss here.
Mhm.
Buying things on time. Okay. Buying things on credit.
Mhm.
All right. So this is what this company, what this country has done to itself. We buy everything on time.
Mhm.
All right. Credit card bills are astronomical. They have bankrupt people. I mean, how many times do you look at commercials and they say, "Oh gosh, here let's bank. You're bankrupt. Here we'll consolidate and blah 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 blah." How did you get there? All right, you got there because of lack of discipline in your spending.
Mhm.
Okay, so you overspend. You live above your means. This is the first thing you have to do. Do not live above your means. Here, let's say, oh gosh, but it was on sale. Okay, you bought something for $100, right?
Mhm.
And you paid the minimum on your credit card bill, right?
Mhm.
So now is that $100 now, or is it $125? Or you keep stretching it out. How much does it cost you by the time you pay it off? They could be $200. Maybe it might
Mhm.
even $250. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're just paying the minimum and jacking up, and how many people who pay the minimum have another credit card? Okay. Now all of a sudden they have thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in debt. How are you going to get ahead that way? No.
Yeah.
The best way to do it is you set the money aside, you save up for whatever it is you want to buy, okay? And then use your credit card, buy it so you play the float,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it's due, you pay the whole bill off. You never exceed what you're able to pay for right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, when I graduated from college, and I was actually lucky. I graduated from college with money in my pocket. Yeah, because I worked the whole time and ran some little businesses here and there. But when I graduated college, I said, you know what? I want to have my own place, and I didn't want to rent.
Mm-hmm.
So I was fortunate enough to live with my folks for a year and a half. And during that year and a half, I was on a strict budget. I wrote down everything that I spent. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it down. I stayed within my budget. Now, let's say you stayed under your budget and you wanted something, the next month that was a little bit more. Okay, you could have it,
Mm-hmm.
but you stay within your budget. And within a year and a half, I bought a house.
Nice.
Yeah. So at 20, I just turned 23, and I bought a house. Okay.
Nice.
How many people you know can do that?
These days, not.
Right.
Gotta
Well, I'll tell you what, my
sell a kidney to get a house today.
Well, my son's girlfriend did it, but they live in Maine. But she had 22. She bought a house 23.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. So again, girl after my own heart. So what you do is you have to have discretionary spending. Okay. But the
Mhm.
thing is that we're so inundated. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. Remember when the iPhones were coming out and there was the new one? Everyone had have to have the new one. I mean, it's not so much of a big deal anymore. But you remember that? They would stand online to spend thousands of dollars to get the new one. Hey, wait a couple of months. It'll still be there. And you know what? And all the people who paid extra will find out all the bugs that need to get fixed. So you wait. Who cares? Everybody has to have the vacation right then and there. You have to have the total extravagance thing. Like here, leasing cars.
Mhm.
Why do you think that auto manufacturers want you to lease cars? Why?
Because at the end of the day, you're going to give them the car back and then they sell it.
They make a ton of money. A ton of money. So we got some questions up there.
We do. You were on a roll, so I don't. You ready for the questions?
Okay, yeah.
All right. So we have. How do we stop our children from listening to actors and athletes who make a lot of money and then lose it?
Wow. What you want to do? Best thing to do there
Yeah.
is
Take off your belt.
Take off your belt and just that's all we need on here. Yeah. Well, that's a big problem. What we have to do is show the examples of all the failures that of all of the different athletes and actors who have failed, because it's a pyramid situation here.
Yeah.
You have very few people up there that have that ultimate
1%.
success.
I think it's
less
like,
than that.
Well, it's like 1% of people in the population make more than like $100,000 or something.
Right. So now you have this small, and then there's even a smaller point of that makes that
400,000 or more.
Now, everyone below that didn't do so well. They're all hustling. They're all, or they're just giving up, or whatever the case is. But what we have to do is we have to show them, like, you see the money that these guys spend, and then what do they actually have? There are endless stories. Okay, I'll give one. Tony Dorsett. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Dorsett got himself involved in many, many different situations and lost all his money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another name, Plaxico Burress. Right. Played for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Where's he now? Okay. I'll give another example. Mike Tyson. How much money did Mike Tyson make? He lost more money than most of us will ever see. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was a great athlete. He had contracts making tens of millions of dollars every time he laced up the gloves. What does he have now? Now he's on a plane punching out some guy who hit him in the head with a water bottle. I mean, the guy's got to work constantly.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't have to do that. I mean, if he kept even half his money, but it's all gone. Why? Because of the lack of discretionary spending,
Mm-hmm.
right? So here, if you look at the richest man in Babylon, right?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, it says don't buy things on time, right? Don't buy them on. Don't get yourself into debt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's certain things that sometimes it is an advantage to getting into debt. I'll give you an example. All right, so you go to buy a house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And mortgage rates, have gone up, but at one time they were under 3%. Okay, so if I have a loan that's 3%, and yet I can make plus I can write off the interest there against my taxes,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have investments that I'm making 10, 20, 15% on. Well, what makes more sense? Do I want to pay off my mortgage, or do I want to let that 3% ride using the tax write-off and gain more money on the interest that I'm making?
Mm-hmm.
These are things that we have to,
Yeah.
impress upon others. These are the things that I talk about in my class too. And I love this one. Oh, I invested in a car. No, you didn't. You didn't invest
Car
in
is
a
not
car.
an investment.
It's an expense.
Yeah.
Or I invested this. See what they.
If it was made this century, it's not an investment.
Right. Well, the thing is that what's being promoted is that any purchase is an investment. Who's promoting that? The people who make the shoes, the people who make the shirts, the people who make the cars. Okay, they're
Mhm.
not investments. They're expenditures.
Mhm.
Okay, get it straight. There's a wrong terminology to be applied to that type of expense, right? And look, if you can't afford it, you don't buy it. Okay, how many people get a car repossessed because they can't afford it? Okay, here, let's get back to leasing for a second.
Mhm.
Right. Why do you think these car companies want you to lease? Well, like you said, because you know who's taking the hit. Because as soon as you roll that car off the lot, guess what?
Goes like down like $5,000 or so.
You
Half
lose,
the price.
right? You lose basically, within a year,
Mhm.
you're half price. 2 years, definitely, half the price. So as soon as you roll it off the lot,
Mhm.
you're already helping them out, and you're already
Yeah.
losing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Now, of course, the only way to really take advantage of that is if you lease your car through a business and you don't pay the taxes on it. And again, you have to pay. You have to pay attention to that
Mhm.
because that comes off your top. So, but you have to still only lease something that you can afford.
Mhm.
Okay? Here's the problem that people go and they look at gosh, I can buy this hoopty over here,
Mhm.
for like 10 grand, or gosh, I can go and lease something for $300, $500, whatever it is, and have a much nicer car.
Mhm.
Thing is, though, guess what? When you go to turn it in, what do you have?
Well, you have nothing. I mean,
Right.
you're paying the premium for the time of the car, and then when your time is up, you give the car back, and then they're selling it for premium. Especially
Right.
now,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
such a shortage of cars.
Oh, yeah.
So like, there's actually people I'm seeing that they're selling the right to lease the car, selling the right to buy the car.
Yeah.
So like, you lease a car, you have it for
Yep.
2 years, and instead of just handing it back, you can sell your right to buy the car to another car company who buys the car that
Right.
you could have bought.
That's crazy.
Because there's like such a demand on cars right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but normally it's not like that. But
even if you do sell your right, you're still losing money.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Then when you go to lease another car, you got to slap down X amount of money on top
Oh yeah.
to buy it. So to lease it for the right to rent.
Mhm.
Okay. You have to put money up for the right to rent.
Mhm.
So you look at that situation, it's a loser's lane. And then when you want to get into the buying market
Mhm.
of a car after you've just been leasing personally, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you have nothing saved up because you've been peeing your money away on that lease all the time.
Mhm.
Okay? And look, a lease is there because you can't afford to buy it. That's why you're leasing it. Again, unless you're writing it through your business and then use it as a business expense. And the only reason that became so popular is because there's a 1985 law that you can't buy anything against your business $20,000 or more.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they've never changed the number. What they wanted to do is they wanted to bolster the sales of American cars. So, but they've never changed the number. If they change that, please let me know. because I'd love to see it as of the last time I did my taxes, which was
Mhm.
just now. So, so look at how much you're able to save. So let's get back to the richest man in Babylon.
Mhm.
It's funny because as the story goes, the richest man in Babylon, he doesn't really make more money than some of these other people. As a matter of fact, there are plenty of people in Babylon that
Mhm.
make more money than him. How does this happen? Okay, what he does
Mhm.
is he takes 10% of every bill. So he's not putting himself in debt.
Mhm.
Okay, he takes 10% of every check. You take that 10% and you put it away. So you take that money,
Yeah.
that 10%,
Mhm.
and it's a bill.
You're
Okay?
billing yourself
You're billing yourself.
as if it was a tax.
Right. Now,
You don't see that money.
you
You
don't
put
see
it
that
away.
money. Put it away. Put it away. And now what you do with that money
Yep.
is after a year, you call that money is your children. Okay.
Mhm.
Now you put your children to work for you.
Your soldiers. I like soldiers. Those are your little soldiers.
Okay. So you put them to work for you.
Mhm.
Okay. So now what are you going to do? You're going to invest in some type of business. You're going to invest in something that's going to grow.
Mhm.
Okay. You're going to make your investments.
Mhm.
So now your money's working for you.
Yeah.
So you're staying within your budget,
Mhm.
and the money that you save is working for you, thus giving you a better yield. So we got some more questions. up
Yeah,
there.
so we got some statements, but I'll turn them into questions. So some people are saying like a great way to save is putting into your 401k. What are your thoughts on 401k?
They're fantastic. I mean, that's you want to save, and in education you also have a 403b.
Mhm.
So yeah, you put your money in your 401k. Why? It's tax deferred. So you
Mhm.
want to drop yourself out of a different tax bracket.
Mhm.
So if I'm making, let's say, $100,000, right,
Mhm.
and above 80 is in a different tax bracket,
Mhm.
as much as I can invest in my 401k, I want that off the top because I don't get taxed on that. It's all tax deferred.
Yep.
Okay. So and personally, you can do up to 6,500 a year until you get to 55, and then it increases, I think, 5,000 a year. So I can put away like 9 million a year right now at this point.
So that's the one, because there's one of them where you can only put in like top $5,000 a year. That's the one. 401k is the one.
No,
There's something
401k,
else.
401k, you can put as much.
Maybe I'm thinking about a Roth IRA.
Probably.
Similar concept.
Yeah, but when you have a 401k through a corporation,
Mhm.
or if you have a 403b through education,
Mhm.
you can pretty much slam as much as you want into that.
Nice.
Yeah, and again, this is all tax deferred.
Mhm.
So let's say there's 2-income household, and husband or wife, one of them's making in corporate world, making good money or whatever,
Mhm.
and then the other one is in education, and say, you know what, we're going to slam all my stuff away, so we just live off of your paycheck. Okay.
Mhm.
And what happens then is that just keeps building and building and building and
Yeah.
accruing and accruing and accruing. And so, you're taking this tax deferred money and it's growing for you.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like the
Yeah.
double dip there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like there I don't know the math, but like if you started when you were like
Yeah.
22 years old and you put like $100 a month away, in 30 years that's like $2 million or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look. The other thing is also that when you're in these corporations, they will also give you matching funds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it depends. Like all the deals are different.
Yep.
It depends on the corporation that you're with, but a lot of them, some go dollar for dollar, some go 1 to 2, 3 to 4,
Mhm.
whatever it is. It depends on the particular business. But if you're doing it on your own, well, you're still putting that money away. So that money that you put away for your IRA,
Mm-hmm.
that should be a separate bill.
Yeah, you
If
can have more than
you're-
one. You can
yeah.
have more than one. The more you put away, the better.
Well, Yes and no. Okay. If you have a like a 401k or a 403b or something like that,
Mhm.
and you exceed X amount, you can't have your personal IRA. I mean, you're not going to get the tax benefit from it.
Mhm.
They're not that stupid.
Yeah, people love it. We want to ask you guys to put questions in the comment section. We do have some comments. Like Paula said, wives are expensive. So there's a funny one.
It's funny. It's funny. And no offense to any women, but I find that no matter how much they make, they still cost.
Yeah, so please put a question in the comment section. We can answer it live, and we're talking about financial strength.
Now, let's talk about this with this financial strength.
Yes.
Now, when you have that financial strength,
Mm-hmm.
what does that do to your stress level?
Probably reduces your stress because you're financially adequate to get food and have a roof over your head. And stress causes your cortisone levels to go up and your testosterone will go down, which will probably affect your physical strength.
There you go. And they definitely see. This is why you have to have balance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we live in a world of balancing act, and the things shift.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as well as your weight distribution in your body, if you don't take care of it,
mm-hmm.
Things shift. So sometimes you have to pay more attention to one than the other, but they still have to be even. Because if you have 5 pillars holding up your life,
yep.
Okay, you have 5 pillars of strength holding up your life, and one of them is off.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? Will you be level? Will you be even?
Mm-hmm.
Will you be stable? No, you will not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we're talking to here.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Phil,
Mm-hmm.
but so like we're saying these 5 pillars, and we're using the word strength. And when you use the word strength, people's minds go to like mastery and like expert and whatever. This is more like, must-haves.
Yeah. Hey, listen, to me, you must have strength.
Yeah.
You have to have all these 5 pillars.
Yes.
If you want balance in life, if you want to enjoy your life,
Yes.
if you want to be successful, you need to have all these 5 pillars going.
Yes.
You need to have your emotional strength. You need to have your mental strength.
Yeah.
You need to have physical strength.
Yeah.
You need to have financial strength, and you also need spiritual strength.
Yeah, these are must-haves. So like I feel like when people like when they first interact with like 5 pillars of strength, they might be thinking, oh, like these are like conveniences or these are luxuries. No, these are must-haves.
Yeah. You have to have this stuff.
Yeah.
And you know what? The sooner that we realize that we need this stuff, the sooner we realize that we need this balance, we need this strength, we have to take a step back and say, gosh, where am I lacking? What area am I lacking? And Paul brought something up in the questions that says like, it's exponential. Okay, growth of your money is exponential. Okay, it compounds. All right, it compounds. But you know what? The same thing with your fitness level. Okay, like you guys know that what I'm doing right now is I'm doing 506 push-ups and 506 crunches a day. Okay, that builds. You know what that's doing for my body? I mean, now honestly, getting to 506 a day is easy. I mean, honestly, it's relatively easy. It's like somebody in my wife's like, that took you a while. Yeah, well, I just did the uplift. She goes, yeah, I did 273 of each. She's like, wow, that was fast. Okay, it gets easier. Yeah. Same thing with saving. When you form these habits, and listen, and we talk about the 90 days of suck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, talk about the 90 days of suck. It can be applied to anything. It can be applied to weight loss, strength gain. It can be applied to savings.
Yeah.
Just think, and you can ask my wife about this.
Yeah.
If you just save for 90 days and just and apply discretionary spending only on the stuff you need, not the stuff you want, nothing luxury, just the stuff you need. How much money are you putting away?
Think about how much a Starbucks coffee costs per day. $7 a day. What's that by times that by 30? What's that?
Yeah, it's $210.
There you go.
Wow.
You put that away a month. You could cancel one of Netflix, Hulu,
HBO
Max.
They're all gone. They're all gone. They're all gone.
You don't have any streaming?
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying?
But you could find ways. You can find ways, but you need to have your Starbucks coffee.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I go to campus,
Yeah.
I have my lunch bag with me.
Nice.
I bring my lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. These are all things you add that up. Okay. You add up, $10 here, $5 there, $12 there, $13 here,
Mhm.
20 there, right?
Mhm.
You add that up. And what is it at the end of the week? What is it at the end of the month? What is it at the end of the year?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, because most people don't have the discipline to do that, to keep track of that,
Mhm.
what you have to do is say, I'm taking X amount and it's a bill, and that's what I'm saving. That's what I'm talking about with the 10%. And look, if you have the wherewithal to do more,
Mhm.
do it. What does Jack say about that?
So Jack's saying save for 90 days, your 90 days suck, and then put it towards debt. But I agree with him, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
say, why stop after the 90 days and put it towards the debt? Keep going. The 90 days are the sucky part.
No,
After 90 days, you develop the habit, and now it's second nature. It doesn't suck
Exact-
anymore.
Right. You get used to it. Like I'm talking about with the push-ups, with the
Yeah.
diet, with whatever it is. The first 90 days suck, but make sure you do it, because that habit is formed after 90 days.
Yeah.
And it's same thing with your financial spending. You
Yeah.
have to have that financial strength. But that's a great way to start.
Yeah.
Say save for 90 days and put it against your debt.
Yeah.
Save for 90 days.
But keep going.
But keep going after
Keep
that. Yeah,
going.
yeah. Oh, yeah. But it's just say, and another 90, another 90. And before you know it,
Nothing sucks anymore.
nothing sucks. And you got an S ton of dough.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, nothing is better than when you look at your bank account and it's fat. Okay? I mean, who doesn't want to have a big
That's the only
fat
thing-
bank account?
That's the only thing
The
Phil
only,
likes
thi-
to be
the only
fat.
thing that I want to be fat is the bank account. Everything else, it's like, no. So, and the thing is that you have to live under your means.
Mhm.
Okay? Live below your means. Why? Because you know what? Sometimes things happen.
Mhm.
There's a couple times in my life that things have happened. One of them just recently happened.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was I was riding high with the studio. I was teaching,
Mhm.
at the college, blah, 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 blah. And then bang, COVID hits.
Mhm.
Now, how was I able not to go into Hawk because of that? Well, it's all has to do, like Jack says, with a balance sheet.
Yeah.
You have to employ a personal balance sheet.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you have to hold yourself accountable.
Mhm.
Okay, strength is practiced. When you grease the groove, for getting stronger physically. Okay,
Mhm.
a little bit each time, right?
Mhm.
So listen. So maybe you say, "Oh gosh, I can't afford that. I can't save that." Yes, you can. Start small. Start with putting away that 10%.
Mhm.
Cut things out. Cut unnecessary stuff out. Figure it out. You know what? Forget the Starbucks then. Forget the Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts. Buy coffee and put it in a cup. Plus, you'll be helping the environment too. You have a reusable cup.
Yeah.
So now you're doing twofold. You're saving money and you're helping to save the environment.
Absolutely.
Uh,
I got one for you too.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
can touch. There's a great book called Rich. You're talking about Rich Man in Babylon, which is
Yeah.
an awesome book. There's also Rich Dad
Dad.
Poor Dad,
Yep.
which incorporates spending money on things that are assets that give you more money rather than the coffee that you drink and is done, or the
Right.
T-shirt that you put on and then doesn't give you money afterwards. Put your money into places that give you money back.
Right. This is what I'm talking about. When we save our money,
Yep.
we then put the money to work for us. Because listen, when you can make money money while you're sleeping,
Mm-hmm.
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I work hard. You know that.
Mhm.
I'm constantly doing stuff, constantly working. But you know what though? But I'm only one person. There's only 24 hours a day, 7 days in a week.
Yeah.
Okay. So that limits you. But what you're not limited with is what you can do with that money once you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And like they said, the hardest million to make is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured since that was the hardest one, I gave up on the first one. I just go right to the second one. It's always easier to make. But,
Nice.
but yeah, guys, financial strength is practice just like any other strength. If you want to be strong with your mind, you want to be strong with your body, you want to be strong with your emotions, you have to tap into them and you have to practice it. Strength is a practice skill. This is something that a lot of people don't realize. Strength is a practice skill, whether it's, like we said, financial, emotional, mental, spiritual, physical, financial. It's all practiced. And you have to have a plan, because if you fail to plan, you can plan to fail.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we talk about that. Let's talk about some guys planning to fail. Let's look at Facebook.
Okay. All right.
I'm so glad that I sold them when I did a few months back. Okay. Luckily I bought them at, around 20 and sold them at a decent amount. But now look at them. And what's the problem? Why they're not planned out right. Because what they're doing, kids aren't doing Facebook. They'll never do Facebook. They're not. It's not cool. Their parents are on it. They're not doing it. It's not going to happen.
All right.
Okay? And then and if you look at, like, it's a lot of older people on it, want pictures of their grandchildren up and stuff and blah 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 blah. And you know what? They're alienating some of those people. They're alienating a lot of those people. They tend to be a little more conservative. So they're alienating them, and they're not attracting the younger group. That's why they're in single digits right now, and they're going down. They better figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look what happened to Netflix. Okay.
Yeah.
They jacked up the price. They doing all this woke silliness. Look at YouTube's down. Their advertising's down dramatically. And again, talking about that, it's time to go to vidhubplay.com.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's one of our sponsors.
Nice.
Right? And as a matter of fact, this is cool. Got to read this. I know I sent it to you, but it's really cool. Let me get to that thing here. It's from Brandon Carroll over there. He's it's his site, and we've had some conversations with him. Remember when he recruited him there? He goes, one of your recent videos is showing 10K in views and 781 likes. We don't even have that many users signed up. So, and the cool thing about this is that you make money right away.
Nice.
Yeah. So, go there. Check out I'm going to start throwing more videos up there, man.
All right. Let's
Are you
do
kidding?
it.
Why not? Why not, man? We're getting some traction. So, and that's a they don't free and open platform. So it's
nice.
pretty cool. So that's the way it's going, man. Like look what Elon Musk is doing with Twitter.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
people want to be heard.
Yeah. They want to be heard. And you also need to work out. So we can also, if you don't just want me and you want others, you could also go to Burn Along.
Nice.
Yeah, and the codes will be up there because we have new codes up there that are for me, Master Phil, because I'm like one of their guys there now.
Nice.
It's generally $14.95 a month, but it's like $8.95 a month now. Yeah, and you have access to all the videos I upload there, as well as me and different instructors. I'll be posting up that code. I think it's MP Master Phil something. I can't remember. I got it written down. They said it to me, so I'll put that up. And don't forget about healthisawealth.com. Come check that out. Because your health is a wealth, and without your health, you don't have too much, do you?
Not at all. You're dead.
You're dead. You're dead. All right. So, yes, that'll wrap us up for today on our section dedicated to financial strength. Guys, put your money away, make wise investments, and let's do this.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of Master Phil in your corner.
Strength and honor.